Hi guys, how are you? Hey Perry.
Hey, what's up? What's up, everybody?
Hi everybody. Okay, so I don't know what's going on, but right before I was gonna go on, all of my stuff didn't upload, so I got to do it again. So I'll do it while I'm talking to you guys. Okay, so listen, a couple days ago, we got this tip that came in about uh allegedly Kathy Hilton being racist. But I don't know if you guys remember. I did a video about a couple weeks ago now about how I never want to be first to break a video because I learned the hard way. This is a video I made. Everybody thought I was talking about Kempire. I wasn't talking about Kempire. I was talking about people have made it a business in production. I'm not gonna call them out their names and stuff like that. They go around to different blogs and they tell stories, and if you don't check the story out or something like that, you could be put and they tell everybody it's exclusive. They tell everybody you have this exclusive story, and so we know this is going on. So I don't do that anymore. I wait. I'm never going to break a story first anymore because they made it into a game. And then two, something as explosive as Kathy Hilton being racist. You never want to go first on that story just in case the story's wrong.
Right.
So I see that they put it out to different blogs and then they put it on Reddit. When you put it on Reddit, then it just spread like wildfire. So I can say it came from Reddit, but it kind of, we got a tip before. So,
right.
And it's about, and we've been hearing rumors about what happened in Aspen. And we know it led to her not talking to Kyle. And then they show previews of Lisa Rinna. So this is the thing that made it to all the blogs and eventually went on Reddit. I'm going to read it to you. It says, you're asking if anyone knew what happened in Aspen with Kathy. Well, here it is. The girls were at a club and Kathy Hilton called the bouncer or a DJ the N-word. Now, don't forget, up until this time, Kathy Hilton had been one of my favorite. Remember?
Your favorite.
Yeah, Perry never felt Kathy. He never felt Kathy. And also called another worker a F homophobic slur, the F word, because she wasn't getting VIP treatment. She had a tantrum and Lisa pulled her out and they went to Kyle's house. Kathy Hilton had a full on at Kyle's house. She was screaming and yelling. That's when she said she hated Kyle and called her all kinds of horrible names behind her back. This is crazy. The other ladies locked themselves in the rooms. They were so scared. Then after that, the trip to Kathy Hilton, then after that trip, Kathy Hilton disappeared for 2 weeks. Now we heard about this. I don't know if you heard about it, but did you hear that she stopped filming for a while?
Yeah, she disappeared.
And they couldn't get in touch with her.
Yeah.
They said she didn't go to the season finale party. We heard about that. Meanwhile, Kathy Hilton sent out cease and desist to the media, telling them not to talk about it. We heard about this too.
Yeah. She always felt entitled to me.
Well, I was about to say, okay, so let me finish. Yeah. So what I'm hearing is that Kathy Hilton used to be good friends with Michael Jackson. And she's still good friends with, what's the other sister name that looks plastic?
Oh, Latoya?
Latoya. She's good friends with Latoya Jackson. Matter of fact, it was Kathy and Latoya. And they're still good friends and they made a pact. You heard about this? Oh, when we have our children, they've been friends since a long time, since early 20s. When we have our children, we're all going to name our first child Paris. Kathy names her child Paris. Michael names his. I didn't even realize this, that they're that close of friends. But does that mean you can't be racist? You might like somebody. Let me tell you how racism works. It's you think a group of people act a certain way, but if someone has money, you'll do business with that N-word. This is what I'm saying. That does not mean she's not racist. And then people are now pointing out all of the race times that Paris Hilton got straight out busted for saying the N-word and the F-word. So trigger, I'm about to play you, because it's going around on social media, the tapes. I'm getting ready to play it, huh?
Yeah. I mean, all that stuff's starting to resurface now.
Trigger warning. Paris Hilton says the N-word and the F-word, and I need to play it. And let me tell you why I'm playing it. So people don't try to clean it up like Bravo's trying to do. We'll get back to that in a minute. So here's Paris Hilton saying the N-word first. Hold on. Now, I told you guys I didn't upload it. Take me a minute. So here we go. Trigger. If you don't like it, please turn off for a couple seconds.
Run, you niggers!
I heard it. She said the N-word. Here is Paris Hilton saying the F-word. And she says it's clear as day. Hold on. I played it. I probably shouldn't have played it because of the music in the background. But you clearly hear her say the N-word. You clearly hear her say the F-word. Not only that, remember when she fell out with Nicole Richie? She fell out with Nicole Richie because she called black men the N-words. And Nicole Richie never talked to her again. This is when they were filming The Simple Life. Do you guys remember one season they had to finish out the contract and they started filming at different times on the Simple Life? Nicole Richie was not playing with her because Nicole Richie looks like a Caucasian woman to me, but she identifies as black. I don't know. She's adopted. She's Lionel Richie's adopted daughter, but her mom, Nicole, is black, who's good friends. What is Nicole's mother's name? It's not Nicole. I can't think of her name. Who's good friends with Kathy Hilton. She is.
Right.
So I don't care if you have black friends. It's not because you're not racist. And I think Kathy's racism has more to do with entitlement. She looks down on people. She's used to getting her way. Now, the word is Bravo's trying to cover this up. Oh, okay. I'll get to Conrad in a minute. People are not, okay. So we'll talk. So Conrad is
a loose cannon, ain't
he? He's Kathy Hilton's son, pardon me, with the bad drug problems.
Right.
In court. Oh my God. I got to put this up. I can't play this video because this was filmed by TMZ. Let me put this up. He went to court. He has drug problems. He must have been high. Something had to be wrong with the boy and called the judge a F-word.
Damn.
See, it's on TMZ. I can't play it because it's on TMZ, but you see the title. Conrad hurls homophobic slur in court, agrees to hospitalization. There's also a tape going around of him saying inappropriate things. Now, this one Conrad, oh my God, who is a basket case. He is a uncontrollable addict that hallucinates, says crazy things. You know, something's got to be wrong with you to say that to a judge in court. But people are trying to show how they use these slurs so casually You got
Well,
Kathy getting caught. You allegedly, you got Conrad said in court. He also said it at Rick Solomon's house. So he was dating Rick Solomon's daughter. Rick Solomon is the guy that made the sex tape with Paris when the police came. Let me play this. He's a loose cannon. Kathy Hilton's children are entitled. How would you describe them, Perry?
well, no, it's entitled. And then, like, the whole thing is this: when you get onto the race thing, they embrace people. If you Michael Jackson, you ain't like the rest of the blacks.
Yeah.
Let's keep it real. Like, and it's a
Donald
different
Trump.
thing.
Well, okay, yeah.
But yeah,
Donald Trump, it's the truth, is really good friends with them. I'll
yeah.
say
I
that
mean, but
story
yeah,
for
I mean,
later.
I mean, you know, I don't know. Like this family, but look how they was raised. That if they had all this money, you know, they used to getting that Hilton treatment, not the Motel 6 treatment. You know, they just go on the
Entitled,
wild and
entitled,
feel entitled, right?
entitled. Mhm.
Because I'm a Hilton, damn it. I mean,
Yeah,
the same
yeah.
guy, what's his name, Conrad or something? Didn't he do something crazy on the plane? If I
Yes,
remember right.
he had a drug episode on the train on the
Oh,
plane. This was a couple
okay.
years ago. I didn't have time to download the tape. He's just entitled. He told everyone on the plane, "My parents make more money than any of you on this plane."
Yeah,
So
and
you know,
Kathy came into the show, Sharrell, doing the same thing. But you thought it was funny and cute.
at first, I don't anymore.
When you
And
come
I make
in,
this perfectly
I'm
clear. I
Kathy
do not
Hilton.
like Kathy Hilton
She
anymore.
came in, I'm Kathy Hilton, not Cal.
Yeah.
Right? And then you know what I'm saying? She just walked in and did what she want to do. And that's when I mean, you get to feel entitled when all the ladies going out to dinner, you in bed drinking NyQuil or whatever the hell you're doing up there, are always taking a nap on the job. So she's not used to working
Well,
and
here's
not
the
being
thing.
around. Huh?
If I think as an African American woman that anybody that uses that word should be fired, point blank, period.
Should have learned from the other
Just
girl last year.
like the staff at Vanderpump Rules.
Mhm.
And one of the guys, Max, was using it as the younger kids use that word.
Right.
And he was using it like that. As a white man, he was using the word. They say, "What up, my in," right?
Mhm.
But I didn't think he should have been fired. I don't think he meant it like that, but he got fired anyway. What makes Kathy Hilton even different? And then not only do Bravo agree to cover it up, this put Kyle in a bad predicament because Lisa Rinna, let me put up these, was upset. Lisa Rinna of all people, Lisa Rinna was upset. And according to the rumors, when she's been making these postings, she's talking about Kathy. We usually run the liars, narcissists off, so we have some work to do. She doesn't want her around anymore. One thing I can tell you, they got it from their mama. So when it all starts coming out, do some Googling and see who those words have been thrown around before. She's talking about the whole family, including the mother. I'll get to that in a minute. It's all in the family, honey, and they are going to try to cover it up big time. I mean, it's already been out in the press, but years ago.
Yeah.
Okay. She did a couple other things, but so the rumor is Lisa Rinna is upset about it, confronts Kathy about it. Kathy gets upset. And Kyle, Kyle's in this, feel it torn and in the middle. Of course, they also told her that Kathy's been talking about you behind your back, Kyle. So spineless Kyle is spineless. Anyway, she's torn. Do I go with this sleazy group or do I go with my sister? Allegedly, they stopped speaking for a while, but now they're back on good terms.
Mhm.
And now this is what led to how bad the fallout's going to be. I might not return. You guys heard that, right? Kyle says she might not return to the show. I'm hearing it's all because of this. And Bravo's going to try to cover it up. Now, people say Lisa Rinna. Why should we believe Lisa Rinna? Well, I don't think Lisa Rinna put it out there. I think Lisa Rinna was upset about it. I think production put it out there, and more specific, Black members on production, because they're like, you're not going to get away with this. She tried to threaten the media to save her reputation, allegedly.
Yeah. I mean, with Lisa Rinna, I mean, she lied, she do all this stuff, but I think outside of her just speaking on it, is other things out there that's showing that possibly Kathy actually said these things.
Kathy
People
said
feel
it.
like they can do certain things, right? But I don't think Lisa Rinna is so upset about it as we may think.
Ooh, Perry, I know what you're going to say. What are you going to say?
I think she's capitalizing on it.
Mhm.
Okay, because Lisa Rinna want them gone, so she's always had this thirst when they got rid of LBP and everybody else, just trying to make it to the top.
Well, you're saying that because everybody's saying, well, Lisa Rinna is racist too. Because a couple years ago, and I can't even find the picture, her and Harry dressed as Nazis
Yeah,
and for Halloween. And so that's racist too. And so that leads back to what you're saying. I don't really care
right,
at this point. I just need this story to be told.
right. I feel you.
And Lisa seems to be the only one that's telling the story.
Mhm.
Everyone else wants to cover it up.
Right.
Bravo needs to be ashamed of this. Andy Cohen needs to fire Kathy Hilton. Now, of course, the rumors are he wanted Kathy on for years. He begged for her to come on for years. She only came on allegedly because of the whole Paris Hilton thing, the documentary,
Uh-huh.
which her parents put her in that school to be abused. This is complicated. And she has pull. Does Andy Cohen fire? She has pull. She's a Hilton. Kathy Hilton has more money probably than Andy Cohen. Does he
Yeah.
fire her? Yes.
Right.
I
I
say
think,
yes.
yeah, they don't fire her publicly. They just let her quit.
You think that's what
Oh,
they're
she
going to do?
decided not to come back.
That's not
Right now,
right.
this Aspen shit been going on for a while. We ain't
Yeah.
heard that. Now it's starting to unfold.
Yeah.
We haven't seen Kathy.
Yeah. Yeah.
She's somewhere sleeping and having a martini. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Probably yelling some racial slurs. I don't know what the hell she doing.
Listen, they all know what happened. If Lisa Rinna knows, production knows. If production knows, Andy knows. Those producers know what happened. And you're not going to give Kathy Hilton the same treatment that you give everybody else. They
Mhm.
fired half of the staff on Vanderpump Rules. Half of the staff.
Where was the little girl last year that didn't come back because her racial post?
Which, what show?
Beverly Hills.
Beverly
Oh no.
Hills?
You know what? No, I'm thinking no. My bad.
You
I'm
think of
thinking
Vanderpump
Utah.
Rules. It
No,
was
no.
Stassi.
No. I was thinking Utah.
Oh God. What's the girl's name
What was
that
her
got
name?
fired in Utah for being racist? What is her name? Jenny?
Mhm.
Jenny Nguyen?
Yeah, Jenny, something like that. Yeah.
Something like this.
Mhm.
They
Right.
need to fire. Oh my gosh. Look, they fired Luann. God, I don't watch Dallas. I think her name was Luann, and she called someone a chirping Mexican. I cannot remember her name.
Yeah, it was something. I remember that term. Yeah.
They fired her.
Mhm. Well,
There
see,
was
I
not
think
this big plot to cover it up.
right. No, which
Bravo,
but
bravo, bravo.
they got to be careful with Kathy. Like you said, Kathy.
Why
you
do
got
they?
this
Oh, because she has pull and she's a Hilton.
Right. Yeah. See, they wouldn't have had this problem. They would just kept LVP, got rid of Kyle's ass. Her sister would have never came along.
So I want you to explain to the people in the audience, Perry, who might say, Kathy Hilton has black friends.
Well, you know what? I got plenty of white friends, and I remember, way back just talking to. We'd be sitting on his porch just kicking it.
You're talking about Dallas? Your
Dallas,
white friend
right,
who's racist.
yeah,
Go ahead, tell the story.
He would say, "Look at this." Well, I'm like, "Man, watch your mouth." I said, "Man, why you think of blacks this way?" He said, "Oh, well, no, you're different, Perry. You're different because I got a job or whatever." I mean, whatever it was, he looked at everybody else different, but they'll befriend some that they choose to be on their level.
This is what I think it is. So Perry had a white racist friend who used the N-word. Perry will befriend anyone. And in his time of need, this is way before we even had money. Perry needed some money. We were like teenagers. And he gave you money, remember?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Can't remember what it was for. But he was racist as hell. He was from Texas, Dallas, had the whole drawl, everything. Not that all Texans are racist, but I'm just telling you, there's a stereotype, and he fit that.
Hmm.
And so what'll happen is they'll look at all black people one way, but then they might find the human side of one of them, and they'll say they're different.
Uh-huh.
But the rest of them stink and don't have jobs and
Right.
breathing up all the white man's air. That's a
Yeah.
joke I got from I got that joke from Dave Chappelle because that was the funniest skit ever. So it's possible to associate with black people
Mhm.
but still be racist. But for me, when you're caught saying that word or being racist or homophobic, I
Mhm.
don't care. Out you go. I don't care if your name is Kathy Hilton and you're super duper filthy rich.
Mhm.
But and then that goes back to how come the rich get treated different than the poor? They got rid of Stassi, who had popcorn ceilings, and
Uh-huh.
Tom when they in their apartments back in the day. Not Tom, God, Max and Brett. But Kathy gets to buy her way out of
Well,
it.
I mean, I think they do it too because they want to, on the one hand, let everything go, but they know they got to enforce some rules. It's just like in the NFL, anywhere else. You know, say Zeke Elliott can pop on a drug test. Some other guy you never heard of, Tyrone Jenkins, he pop. They gonna discipline him and put it in the news so you there know everybody know we enforce these rules. It's almost the same with reality TV. You
Yeah,
know,
Kathy Hilton's gonna damn very well, unless people push back and say fire her ass or stop watching the show, most likely is going to get away with it or get a soft firing, like Perry said. Oh, she decided not to come back.
right?
With
But
that
see,
being said, let me say a couple of things.
go ahead.
I see I offended some people in the chat. I'm not saying all Texans. I said the stereotype Texans. He was because he wore a cowboy hat and stuff. And we all know not all Texans and not all white people are racist. I'm just talking about that stereotype. Okay. Jesus. Okay. Hold on, Perry. I'm getting a message.
And you fine.
Okay. Okay, let me clear that up. Yes, I am going to drop the link so let people talk. So I'm going to drop the link and let you guys talk. Try to be sensitive when we talk about race. It's a very touchy subject. Damn. Okay. Now I lost my train of thought because someone's texting me while I'm live.
And you missed a super chat too.
Huh?
You missed a super chat. I'm not sure if
I
you
missed
had
a
seen
super
it.
chat too. I'm gonna go
Hmm.
up to the top. Super chat from Jordan Settle says, let's be honest. Lisa calling out Kathy is like this is not going to end up like the Real Housewives of Dallas situation when Brandy called out Leanne. Then Brandy got caught being racist shortly after. I mean,
Damn.
she's right. I mean,
Right.
okay. I'm saying right now, I don't care if it came from Lisa Rinna. I just wanted it to be out. I
Right.
don't
Well,
want Bravo covering up things and getting away with stuff like this. So, am I happy that it came from Lisa Rinna? No, I am not. But with that being said, she's the only one that spoke up.
well, I mean, like my
What's
logic
your thoughts
behind
on
that.
it? This is tricky. This is tricky.
I'm glad it came from a cast member.
Yeah.
If it just came from somebody else, the people would just say it didn't happen. But for a cast member to put themselves on blast and know they can get, I mean, her speaking up for it,
Uh-huh.
saying it, whether it's for her own reasons or not, it still give it more credibility to me that it actually
Hi,
happened.
AT2. AT2, my buddy, says, fire Kathy and fire Lisa just because we don't like her. Debbie Flower says, what about when Nene said that Bravo is racist? Well, this is what I think. We're about to have a serious conversation, guys. So I want everybody to be sensitive because when you talk about race, it gets out of hand. This is what I feel about Nene. Nene felt that Andy was treating her in a racist way. She did not catch Andy Cohen saying the N-word. She didn't call him a racial slur. Is there racial slurs for white people?
Well, I mean, I guess, yeah. I mean, I think we talked about this. It was the WT white trash, something like
People are
that. I mean, we
saying,
talked
and
about
I'm
different
saying
things. We
this
don't know.
too, because
But
this is another topic that we discussed on Perry's channel.
mhm.
I had a white friend of mine, and I'm giving you an example, saying that if you call a white person white trash, that's the equivalent of saying the N-word. I don't know. We had white people in our chat disagreeing about that, but
Right.
I don't use racial slurs. I don't even know if there's a I don't know. Let's start taking calls. Who's first?
Okay.
Hey,
What's up, Freddie?
Freddie. Hey, Freddie. This is a sensitive topic. What are your thoughts?
I mean, it sure is. I mean, what's interesting though is Garcelle seems to be Team Kathy Hilton because don't you
That's
remember a few months ago she said that she was closer to Kathy than Kyle was. So at the same time, I'm thinking maybe it's the Mean Girls that could be making this up because they're jealous that Kathy is, a lot more wealthy than them. I just think Garcelle being a black woman, and we know how she talked about in her first season about that whole auction and Kyle saying, oh, you didn't pay. And Garcelle said she was triggered because of the racism, sort of saying, sort of with the implication that she stole it. So I'd be surprised if Kathy Hilton did this, why Garcelle would want to take an alleged racist side.
Well, this is what you're saying. You're saying I'm not going to condemn anyone without proof. Is this what you're saying?
I want to see proof.
And Paris saying the word is Paris, and don't tie it in to Kathy.
That's exactly.
Yeah, I mean, I get what you're saying though, but I would think that we know we can't trust Lisa Rinna all the time. You know what I'm saying? We really just can't trust her. Anything for attention, anything to get an extra dollar. But at the same time, if that was the case, wouldn't Kyle have came out? She got a Twitter, Instagram, or something and say, hey, why are you lying on my sister? And then another thing come back, where the hell has Kathy been? Okay. If somebody is under investigation for a crime and they disappear.
What are you meaning why she hasn't been, she hasn't been in Beverly Hills so far is because her and Bravo were battling over how much she should be paid for the season. So she doesn't come in till about the quarter of the season's been filmed.
I get what Freddie's saying. He's saying consider the players. We know you're messy, Lisa. Okay, you got a job, but you're messy, and you can't condemn anybody without proof. But Freddie, what do you say when you see her children? What's in Conrad called the judge?
I mean, I think she probably does have some. I definitely think she's probably has a lot of microaggression terms of racism for sure. I mean, if she's anything like Kris Jenner and how she treats her staff, like shouting chef, I think it's very possible.
Let's bring on work.
What? It's true. It had to be I'm just being honest.
Mel, you're an African American. What are your thoughts? Oh,
yes.
are you African American? I don't know.
Yes, I am. I'm proud of it. But you know what? You know what? This is great. So, hello, Freddie. How you doing? I was on this show sometime. You know what? I think I'm going to agree with Freddie on this point to some extent. I think that, as you said, Mr. Sharrell, is true. Okay, so we could be serious. When it comes to this topic, you do have to deal with it in a delicate way. So with that being said, yes, I probably would not want to categorize any human being as something as defamatory as being a racist, or even when it comes to anything to do with that kind of thing until I have proof. That being said, I am looking at Kathy. I'm gonna assert this. I am looking at Kathy Hilton with a side eye. I've been looking at her at that way since last season because I think that even when there was a misunderstanding with her her maid, or her help her. I don't know the terminology, you know.
Oh yeah, and she didn't know the name.
She
or
didn't
something.
know the name.
She didn't know
That
the name.
woman.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
then there was also there was some things, there was some bubbling, some feeling, some energy there that
She
just
did a
seemed,
Ramona, as I call it.
yeah, there
Don't
was
you remember
definitely.
when? I mean, certainly here in the UK, we see the help as like quite a really wrong, derogatory term to use, because obviously in like the era of slavery, that's what they address them as, the help, and that's why there's that film about it all that's called The Help. So I really don't like that saying
So,
of the help. Is
so last year when she was having that issue with that, well, she had that sort of moment, that slip of a moment, and just sort of her the way she was last year, she was kooky, but she definitely was entitled to some of those things. So when Lisa Rinna comes out, who has a jaded past herself, with the way she talks about, you know, she's not politically correct herself. It definitely does seem like I just want to wait and to see what the evidence roll out. And also, remember, Sharrell, last year or some couple months ago, we were joking because it's, you know, exclusive. I'll use that term with you. You was like, okay, I'm hearing that Lisa Rinna might not be coming back or something might be happening. And we joked. I said she's not leaving Beverly Hills unless she burn it down, and we all laughed.
Right.
And so now, of all people, the most shocking, I'm going to say shocking, short of Erica, thing that they, well, Taylor was pretty shocking too because she had a death that was shocking, but this is pretty shocking. So that Lisa Rinna be so involved, it does seem like I'm looking at her with side eye. It just seems like the ladies in Beverly Hills is very intense. We have robberies that we're questioning. We have racism that we're questioning. I mean,
these are intense things. Freddie, when Perry says, "I have a white friend who's racist," does that make sense to you?
You know, there definitely are white people around that are racist, but, you know, at the same time, there are a lot of, you know, white people like myself who are really against racism too.
So
no, I agree with that. No, I mean, nobody's saying like every white person is racist, because they're not.
Yeah.
So nobody's saying like just because.
Well, a lot of people are going to say Kathy's good friends with LaToya Jackson, and she was with Michael. Does that mean she's incapable of being racist?
I think a racist can socialize with minorities and still be
exactly. I mean, just because you're friends with people who are of different ethnic minority to you doesn't mean you're not racist. I mean, that's like the typical thing, you know, sort of like a lot of racists say is, well, I've got a black friend or something like that.
That's deep. GD says, didn't Sutton debunk Kathy saying racist LGBT stuff? I haven't heard that, but I don't know. And that's why we gotta take the slow, like Freddie said. Sen, what are your thoughts?
Oh, hi guys. How are you?
Hi.
Well, I feel like Kathy could be one of those undercover racists. Because if you think about it, like Freddie said, when she called her maid, I don't know her name, the lady, and
she did say that.
Yeah, but then did you see afterwards she was at some award show, or was it the Met Gala last year when she was with Rihanna?
Yeah, she was hanging with Rihanna. Yeah, maybe she's racist when it comes to finances. And what I mean by that is, I'm up here because I'm rich and I'm Kathy Hilton. And if you don't make a certain amount, you're down here.
Right.
I think it's more or less the fact that if I can't have my way, then the first black person I see gonna be the N word. You know?
Damn.
But you won't let me in. You won't let me in. Oh, he's an N word, you know.
But I also think there's some myth, and we all probably know this. There's a myth, and especially in our community, that and it's been talked about a lot on YouTube, that some people from different race can exploit different things in our community. They can exploit connections, they can exploit friendships, way of speaking and things like that. So I think that sometimes you can have really deep-seated intolerance and prejudice against a community, but still want to get the benefits of being connected with those communities and be connected.
Are you talking about the Kardashians?
Oh my God!
I mean, Kris Jenner. And I noticed when in the Keeping Up with the Kardashian days, they call her. They're like, "Yes, ma'am," to all like the staff.
I mean,
like,
politicians do it all the time.
Treats them so badly.
Yeah,
politicians will have these deep-seated feelings about things, and then
I mean, if they want, they'll go to the Baptist church.
Yeah. Sky, what are your thoughts about this sensitive topic?
So I have a theory. Do you guys remember last year on the Beverly Hills reunion when Garcelle brought to the reunion, she said that allegedly Lisa Rinna told someone that she didn't like how Garcelle was bringing race on the show.
I remember that.
Yeah.
I have a theory that people thought it was Kyle that told Garcelle that. And I have a theory that Lisa found out that Kyle did report back to Garcelle about bringing race on the show. And now she's retaliating by throwing Kathy under the bus about being racist, pretty much.
Clear this up for me. Say it one more time.
No, you're good. It is confusing. So I think that Lisa Rinna is retaliating because I believe that Kyle was the one that told Garcelle that allegedly Lisa said she was disappointed that Garcelle brought race onto the show.
Let me tell you why I can't count out your theory. When you cry wolf like Lisa Rinna and destroy your reputation and make it that everything comes out of your mouth, people don't believe. This is included. So when you are serious, if you are, no one's going to believe you.
Cry wolf.
I mean,
what do you think about that? You know what I mean, right?
I mean, for me, the weird thing is why are the two black women on Real Housewives of Beverly Hills friends with Kathy Hilton? I mean, for me, if I were a black man and someone that was a colleague of mine was racist, I would cut that friendship. I would not want to be friends with that person. So either Garcelle and Sharrell are very weird and seem to want to be friends with some white racist person, or it's Lisa Rinna and other people, the Fox 5 or whatever they want to call themselves, that have made it up. Those, for me, must have to be the two options here.
But can I say this too? In both directions. So if they made it up, then they are never to
I
be
have to
followed.
go for supper.
Thank you, Freddie.
Okay, take care.
If they made it up, then if they were made up, they will never be on my screen again, especially those people. And
but you can't put anything past them, Mel. They made up a robbery, if you ask me.
Yeah,
exactly. And they said it was a black man.
So what I so what I think is on both sides. So if they made it up, they are definitely not to be followed or messed with or touched anymore. And if Kathy Hilton did it, so my decision this year would be in one direction. I will not be messing with one of those groups. Because
well, we got to be patient. You're right. Let me read this super chat. Jordan says, Kathy may not necessarily be racist. She may be classist. Is that how you pronounce it? Because she may treat people of her own race without money the same. Words are important. I think she really looks down on people that don't have money, if you ask me. What are your thoughts, Smoke or Phaedra?
As far as I'm concerned, the apple does not fall too far from the tree. So if the children are saying it, they had to start getting it from somewhere. So I wouldn't be surprised if the mama was saying it too amongst them and they feel like that's okay.
Yeah.
And
we heard Paris. That's why I had to play the tape.
And her brother.
Say the N-word. She said it. And then you got crazy Conrad. That's what I'm calling him. Sorry, Conrad, you're crazy. Calling a judge the F-word. Like a judge right before you get sentenced. Unless he was trying to plead
insanity.
He wasn't going to plead because he has the money and the financial ties to like not get the typical punishment that we would get if we were in trouble in that way. We wouldn't do that because we know that we would not be able to we would get harsher punishment if we were to do what he did.
Also, when he said on that plane, my father could buy everyone on this plane.
Entitlement.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Entitlement.
They're all entitlement. But can you have that much money and not feel better than? Because you're getting things handed to you.
Yes, you can. There are people that can do it. Yeah.
Yeah, you're right. You don't have to act that way.
No, you don't. So I mean, there are some good, nice, rich people out there that are not racist. I mean, there's some rich African Americans out there that may be racist, but so it's a one-sided coin. I mean, a two-sided coin. I don't know how you say that, but
no, you said it right.
Yeah, and I'm from Texas, Perry.
You know what though? Like with that statement that Jordan made, I get it. What she's saying, like it could be a sign of ignorance. Like she treat whether you black, white, Puerto Rican, it don't matter the same way. If she feel bigger and larger than you, but like she said, the words is what matters, right? Because even if I felt like better than you, but when you say the N word or F word, it changes the dynamics and it makes it more of a racial thing at that point.
If you remember when they were sitting at the table in Kyle's house and Garcelle was talking about race and who was that? Derek. Well, I have plenty of people that work for me that are black. And she said the magic word, work for you. But my mom, here she go. My mom's best friend is black. Yeah, right.
I'm gonna bring up a new group because I got a lot of people backstage. Thank you guys for calling
Take
in.
care, guys.
Oh, take care, everybody.
Bye
bye.
We got a lot of people today. Let's see. We got hi Kim.
Hi.
Hey AJ.
Hey.
Hey Sebastian.
Hi everyone.
Hey
Let's
guys.
start with Kim. Do you think Kathy's racist, Kim?
You know, I really have a lot of questions about racism. I've never used the N-word. I was never raised that way. I'm really confused about all the hatred that's going on in the world with racism and this and that. I'll tell you a story. I had an apartment complex in Ohio, and the manager of the apartment complex was black. And so when I went over there to meet the neighbors and, the tenants and stuff, I said, somebody wanted to be a manager. And I said, well, Mike is a manager and he's my boy. Well, they took it.
Oh, yeah, you can't say that.
Yeah, and I just flipped out because he was younger than me and he was my boy. I mean, I didn't mean it in a negative
way, yeah.
Yeah, and then when all the Black Lives Matters and stuff went on, I was at the airport and I was talking to a police officer that was black and trying to understand, what was all going on. And they were so rude to me and wouldn't explain anything. And I just thought, God, here's a white person that's trying to understand what's going on and stuff. And because I live on the West Coast and I wasn't raised around it. So I trying to understand and nobody would explain it to me. That's one of the reasons why I watch your show, is because I learn a lot of stuff and it's really interesting to me. And sometimes I just get on and say what I want to say and with no makeup on or any of that.
Let me say this, and I'm talking to you, Sebastian. Let me read this super chat really quick. Kathy, a no-show for Garcelle Haitian feast was suspect. That's true. Sebastian, for some reason, and Kathy, I just want you to hear this conversation. I mean, Kim, I can't get out of my head that her children say racial and homophobic slurs. Am I being paranoid? I can't get it out of my head.
The thing is,
that's how she was raised.
Kathy?
No, they all were raised like that. If they use the N-word and talk down to people, it goes back to the foundation. If you're raised on a foundation that is respectful to other people, you won't say that kind of stuff.
That's what Lisa Rinna said. And it's coming from Lisa Rinna. What were your thoughts, Sebastian?
About the Paris thing. Okay.
The thing is, right now is not a moment to be saying the N-word. Anyone, no one should be saying the N-word, black, white, or whatever you are. That is not a nice word to be said. I don't like how we like to pick and choose who can say that word. Because at the end of the day, you can say whatever you want, but the thing is, you must acknowledge that what you say can have a big impact on your life. I don't like that word. I've never said it, and I am black. I've never said that word. I don't plan on saying it in the future. I don't like when people say it around me. Black people too who say it.
Right.
I don't like it. I don't like that word. Like, I don't not like a word that literally was a word used in it was a word to diminish black people. I don't like that word. So
AJ, what are your thoughts?
Yeah, hi everyone. Basically, isn't it's time that Kathy went. She's not even that interesting anyway. She's very disappointing. Like, she wasn't giving us anything last season. We thought she was going to give us something, and she was part-time. And I think the reason why she was part-time is because she's got a lot of things to hide. Have any of you ever watched Paris Hilton's documentary?
I've seen parts of it
on YouTube. Right. Well, she's not really portrayed the best way. And
that's right.
even though yeah,
did you hear the rumors
sent
that's
her
why
away.
she came on the show? Did you hear the rumors that's why she came on the show, to clean up her reputation?
Yeah, and I think it's got to do with that.
You haven't heard that?
Yeah, she had a really bad. It was really like, I forgot about it because I watched it and I thought really bad for Paris, but I don't like Paris anyway. But I really don't like them because I just think they're very pretentious and fake, and also, even though they grew up with Michael Jackson and LaToya Jackson, let's face it, LaToya Jackson, she's not that black anymore. I mean, she's very white now. She bleached herself. And let's just be real. So yeah, Kathy Hilton, she's a racist, most likely, and she should go. But I don't know why Andy is just holding on to her, and then should Lisa Rinna. I don't know about Lisa Rinna.
Let me ask you this, Kim, because I agree with you. We got to reserve judgment. You don't want to jump the gun too soon. But if it comes out that Kathy said that word, do you think she should be fired?
Yes.
Right.
Absolutely, yes, because other people have gotten fired for that.
Ramona Singer hasn't gotten fired for saying what she said. Lisa Rinna hasn't gotten fired for what she said. No. Kathy Hilton does not get fired just because she said the N-word. I'm sorry. No. If we're gonna fire one, we gotta fire them all. Not just we don't pick and choose.
Hold on, Sebastian. Whoa, slow it down.
We don't pick and choose. We gotta fire them all.
You got to fire them all if they say that.
Well,
yeah.
They're not going to fire.
Okay.
You have to put your foot down. You have to put limits. It's got to stop somewhere.
I agree. Well, I do agree. But if we're going to fire Kathy Hilton, who's just a friend of, not an actual housewife, we must actually fire the actual housewives who say problematic and racist stuff, aka Lisa Rinna saying that this Garcelle always has to talk about black and this, black that.
No. So you're saying if they don't fire Lisa Rinna, then don't fire Kathy Hilton?
The thing is, I'm saying if you want to hold people who say things that are problematic on a show, you must hold all of them to that standard.
Accountable.
Not just
yeah, I can understand.
Exactly.
But
who's asleep?
That's Naomi. Naomi, are you asleep? No, we already saw you sleeping.
What's gonna happen? Oh my god.
Naomi, should Kathy Hilton be fired?
Yeah,
she was asleep.
I feel like she should be fired because if not, then we're setting the precedence that, hey, you can just say what you want and get away with it, even though behind the scenes that might be what she's doing anyway.
So Sebastian's saying Lisa Rinna should be fired for wearing the Nazi outfit. Remember that costume?
When did she wear that? I've never seen that picture. Oh my god.
Never seen? Well, Harry, remember the Halloween?
Oh.
You guys don't remember this? Oh my god, let me bring it up.
He had the black jacket with like leather jacket with the Nazi red shirt on.
Are you
kidding me? This?
Oh my god. Oh,
that was very offensive.
Do you remember this, Kim?
Yes.
Here, let me bring it up. I can't believe you guys don't remember this. It was a Halloween costume. So if I go on Sebastian's theory, then Lisa Rinna should be fired too, because she made, racist,
But
anti-Semitic
Right.
things.
but it's not. Somebody should expose. Oh yeah, I see it.
It's intense. I know.
Oh.
So Sebastian, you think that Lisa Rinna should be fired for this?
Anyone who says or do things that are problematic should be fired
Right.
or be apprehended or suspended. Like, for example, Kenya Moore with the Native American costume.
She did do that.
But the thing is, the Kenya Moore thing, it's not the same thing. Kenya explained it why she wore it, and the thing is, she did do it in a wrong manner. That's not a costume. You don't.
So what about if you go back to what Kim said? Kim saying that she. Kim saying that she. Say it again. Say it again, AJ.
What was he supposed to be? What is he dressed as?
A Nazi. You see the sausage?
And Marilyn Monroe, and a Nazi guy. But what character is that? That is so weird.
I don't
know.
That
is bizarre.
But let me ask you guys this really quickly. Kim is saying that she said things before that was racist and it wasn't intended to be racist. And with today's cancel culture, they're just canceling everybody for anything. And even if it's not intended to be that way, should you still be fired? I say, yeah. What do you guys say?
Yeah, I think
yes.
If you,
it's hard. It's hard. It's a hard one.
Yeah,
because let's keep it real.
But there's got to be consequences.
Most people on the panel have said things out of ignorance. But I think oftentimes, I think when I think of a racist, it's not so much based off a simple word you might say. It might be your actions.
Yeah, that's right.
Yep. See what I'm saying? So actions shows me more than a word.
Yeah.
Because the word can be said out of ignorance.
I was so humiliated and so embarrassed that they took it that way. I would never, ever do that. I mean, I watch what I say about watermelon or fried chicken now. I mean, it's getting a little bit ridiculous. I think the N-word's the most important thing right now to fire somebody for. I don't think the other words are, unless it's intended. But you don't know unless you know the person.
Right.
All right. Let me bring up another caller. Kim, did you want to say anything else?
I just want to say I love you guys.
Thank you. We love you too.
We love you too.
And I learned so much from you guys. So thank you for being on.
Thank you, Kim. Take care. I appreciate it. Let me bring up one more caller.
Nice.
Listen.
That's so nice.
Hi, Steve. Steven, can you hear me?
It's Steph. Yeah, I'm here.
What do you think about this? The cancel culture is so sensitive these days that you might say something racist, but don't intend to. Now, with that, I'm just asking questions. I think Kathy needs to go, but I got a show to run. What's your opinion on that? With the cancel culture being so sensitive?
I don't think they're sensitive. I think people are sick and tired of these things happening. I think that I stand with Sebastian. Everybody needs to be held accountable. Why? Because you have things like what happened at the grocery store. Where was it, in Buffalo?
Yep.
So we need to put a stop to it, no matter how big or small it is. And it's kind of frustrating because I feel like Bravo continuously protects these people. Why? I don't know. Instead of just bringing it to the forefront, showing them as an example and cutting them off.
Yeah, especially Ramona Singer.
Exactly.
Exactly.
Yeah. So what is it about certain women
and Luann,
that can say and do whatever they want?
And Luann had blackface. Remember that?
Well, then if that's the case, Steph, do we fire Kenya Moore?
For what?
Yes.
She dressed in the native garb.
It's not the same thing with Kenya, though.
But
But
that
it's
one's tricky
different.
because what is the intent behind it? That's what I
Yeah.
feel like you have to look at.
See, that's what I'm looking at. Like, I know, I mean, you know, people say, well, I'm being too soft on it or whatever. I think a word itself, the meaning change based off your actions. Okay. Now, I'm just gonna say this: if somebody walked past me and said, "Whatever color," I might look at it and say, "It's strange" or whatever. What up, Ian? But in a joyful way, I might look at it and still say, "Well, hold up, man. You still said it," but it's different than somebody walking past you with anger. You, Ian, you see what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Like just putting
Yeah.
up the middle finger or showing some kind of action behind it. But you know, that's just my personal opinion. Like it's hard thing to judge. When you go back and say, should everybody be crucified for their ignorance way back in the day for saying something wrong? I think if a person say a word, you need to if you gonna put judgment on them, they have to have show some kind of intent or action behind it.
Can I say something about Kenya?
To me, I'm not sure, huh?
Go ahead.
Okay, so the Kenya thing, I don't think Kenya's racist for what she did. I think she lacked knowledge in that context. You can't, the thing is, she is part Native American. She is a descendant of Native Americans. And you don't wear cultural things as a costume. That's disrespectful.
Mm-hmm.
That is what some wear every day. You don't wear it as a costume.
But that's what she did.
That's what she did.
Yeah.
Like she's ignorant about it. I don't think she's racist. I think she said she did something wrong, and she acknowledged what
And
she
she
did.
apologized. Yeah, and she
said her
apologized.
aunt
Did
her
apologize.
aunt to live
We
on a
need
reservation.
we need Kathy Hilton to address this subject. We need her to address it.
Yes,
Kelly, what are your
But I don't
thoughts?
see her. I don't think she's just not someone that would. She doesn't strike me as someone who would
She needs to
apologize
address it.
genuinely.
You said it. You owe
She's
the
very
public
pretentious.
explanation. I think she needs to address
she
the
does.
public. Kelly, what are your thoughts?
Hi guys. I definitely think she should address it, but I think it's really interesting because if she's so comfortable to say it, then I can imagine that majority of the people around her say it, and it's just
Like her
a matter,
children?
her children, her friends, all of them. And I do think that it's wrong to use the word period if none of your ancestors were slaves in America.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And I think
No one should be using that word, whether your ancestors were slaves or not. Like,
Agreed.
Well, I mean, that's for all
Agreed.
of us to decide, because you can't tell me that I can't use the word.
You want to use the what?
Yeah,
No,
well,
I
the
get
N
what-
word.
I know.
I think
Yeah.
Well, no, a lot of black people use it. A lot of
Yeah.
black people use it, and I hate to
As
say
she
this.
said, it's a personal for her because it's a cultural. See, it's a little bit tricky here because a lot of people use it differently, and it coming from a white person. It sounds worse than coming from a black person. I'm just gonna say
I
it.
used
It
to
sounds
use the
wrong,
N-word.
but people have different, react
I
differently.
used to
I
use the
personally
N-word
won't
all
use
the
it.
time. I used it all the time because
Yeah.
I have teenage sons, and they would say it, and I would say it in a joking way, like "shut up," in or whatever.
Yeah.
Until another black person checked me and said, "You should never use it because then it gets confusing." What do you think about that, Kelly?
Yes and no. What I'm starting to learn is that if we as black people or any group, if we have something that we feel is of value to our culture, we should treat it like that. We shouldn't be putting it in music where it's accessible to a bunch of other people.
Oh,
So
we
like
do.
we do, and I think that's wrong because
But the
it's
N-word
not
is
like
not
our
a
music
value to our
doesn't come with
culture.
instruction.
Right.
It's not like, hey, X, Y, and Z. So I feel like within my home, I use it. When I'm roasting my siblings, I use it. I have good memories
It's
attached
become
to
a
that
part of
word.
roasting.
Yeah, literally. And so I'll
No,
use
it really
there.
is. I hate to admit that I used it, but I would
Mhm.
use it all the time. Like, especially if I'm, that's what we cap. We make
But
fun of
don't
each
you
other in my family a lot. I
don't
use
you
it all
see
the
the
time.
hypocrisy in that though?
It
What's the
is. That's
hypocrisy?
my
White
point.
people say, "Oh, black people use it, so why can't we?"
But
But at the end
there's
of the
nothing
day,
that's not hypocrisy,
But
because you can't use
no.
it because
Yeah.
we still live in a society where you as a white person have way more privilege and power than I do. And the word was used by your people to hurt us. We took the word and we made it something really special to us. And until
how is it
until
special?
whites
It's a
as
word
a
that you
whole,
can describe
It
I'm
will
still
never be
talking though.
special.
I feel that until whites in our country as a whole take accountability for racism and everything that comes along with the racist system, why do you even want to use the word? You know what I mean?
And I
Like,
think,
there's no
you took
accountability on the
ownership
other side.
Let me
It's
of
like
the
ask you
word.
this:
cherry
why
picking.
would you want to use the word knowing the negative connotation that it stems from? Can
Because
you imagine our
I'm not a white
ancestors
person. Like
knowing that
the
generations
white
later
people
were
who
using that
use
word
the
as a term
word,
of endearment? Does
the
that
white
make
people who
sense?
use the word, the white people who use the word used it to hurt us. That's not my problem. Within my group, within my culture, within my family system, we don't use that word to hurt each other. When it was introduced to me
let me
by
say
my
something.
parents,
Kelly's speaking for the younger generation. That's how they feel. She's not alone in feeling that way. They use it all the time. And us older people are saying it gets confusing when you
Right.
In
use it.
music,
Okay.
in
Sharrell, can I
culture,
Because
say
then you
this
music,
though?
can't
in
pick and
comedy.
choose, huh?
Now I was gonna say, can I say this though? And I think what she's saying is this, right? The word just when they get out in the public get confusing to a lot of people. But let's take an American word, say Sam, but say in Spanish, or I'm just throwing out a word. Somewhere else, it can mean something totally different. What she's
Yeah,
saying is when a black say it to another black,
Mhm.
it's
yeah,
probably a different language
Meaning, yeah.
than when the slave owners did it to the slaves.
yeah.
You understand?
It has a different meaning. They've taken that word and
But
really
like Steph is saying, it gets
taken control of it.
confusing. It
Right.
gets
Yeah,
confusing.
Right. No,
but he's
confusing
not
no.
to who?
giving
I
the
think it
white
only
man the
gets to
power.
confusing to the people who aren't
Yeah,
supposed to be using it.
Right.
Like, it's not confusing. Like, for instance, the B word. I use it with my friends. I use it with my sisters.
yeah,
Like, girl, you won't believe what happened. It kind of replaces
yeah,
girl.
I
But
see your
if a
point.
man is
yeah.
two dynamics, like I feel that for some reason they try to make us feel that we're talking about apples and apples. It's like we're talking about apples and oranges. Like
Mm.
a man saying the B word to a woman it has more power because a lot of times the man is stronger than us. He has more social power. So it's like, wait a minute, you're taking this word and you're using it to hurt me. But within women, and if you're really close, we can use that
Yeah.
word. It's I don't like when it's like it's complex, but it's really not because we're humans and things are complex. When you call your husband's name, at one point it might be like, oh,
I mean, the B word
something
is probably
ridiculous.
getting misused. I
But
can
these
use
are
it
all
in,
negative terms. They're all negative. So I don't see the point in having to revise the meaning behind them.
well, yeah.
No, but
Hold on.
choose.
Joe, can you
Right.
sound off really, really quickly? Because I have another video to do.
Okay, I just wanted to say that I if when Lisa comes out and say this, I don't know, I don't trust Lisa, so I would have to hear the entire
Yeah.
context from somebody else. The fact that Garcelle is still friends with Kathy would make me want to hear, the backstory from another perspective,
Yeah.
because I trust Garcelle. I know Kathy's the persona that Kathy presented last season was kind of fake. I don't think that's her real personality. We didn't really see the true Kathy. It was a persona that she was presenting. Whether or not she's racist, I don't know.
Yeah.
Because we never really saw the
She
true
is.
her. Yeah,
I
but
agree.
Hunky-dory and pretending to be dim and all that. Yeah.
yeah,
She
and that
pretends a
was
lot. Last season.
Yeah,
yeah,
and I think we all can agree that Kathy's fake.
Yes.
We don't know who she is because
right.
last
Yeah.
year just
Kathy's favorite.
wasn't. Yeah.
No.
And I think that Lisa, anybody
Hunky-dory
that
and all that. It's just a little bit. That's not.
Yeah.
anybody who is popular and gets a lot of shine, I think Lisa is willing to take them down. So I don't trust
Whew.
Lisa. So I
Yeah,
just
you
want
guys
to
are right
see.
about that. Lisa will do anything.
Because she's
It's
desperate for attention. She really wants to be the
Yeah.
HBIC of RHOBH. She really thinks
Right.
she is.
Exactly.
like I said
Exactly.
earlier, this is
And she
complicated.
needs the money.
We got
She needs
we
the
got to
money as well.
Oh my
Exactly.
god.
She's got a
I
house to build
I can't. All right, you guys. I got to
and
end this
kitchen to
here.
do. She's got a kitchen
All
to
right.
do.
Exterminate that house.
I appreciate you guys calling in. This is a
All
sensitive
right.
subject. It is
Thank you
crazy.
guys.
It really is.
Take
Thank you
care.
guys for
Bye
calling.
bye.
Appreciate
Bye,
it, guys.
guys.
Take care. AJ is too much for me. I can't. All right. Like I said, it's a very sensitive topic. You guys go ahead and leave your thoughts in the comment section. I'm still steadfast in my feelings. Kathy needs to go. Kathy needs to go. But I am willing to hear more of the story. We can't jump the gun too soon. But right now, Kathy needs to go. Because if you fire one, you got to fire them all. But we need to hear. Bravo needs to address it. Kathy Hilton needs to address it. We need more. Last words really quickly, Perry. Really quickly.
No, I'm good. That's it.
All right.
They
All
did
right, you
address
guys.
it.
I want to thank everyone for your super chats. You don't have to support the channel today, and you do. So I appreciate it from the bottom of my heart. Please don't forget to click that like button on your way out. If I didn't get to you backstage, I do appreciate it. I am simply out of time. Let me know, everybody, your thoughts in the comment section. Bye-bye, Kathy, as far as I'm concerned. On 3, Perry, let's say bye. 1, 2, 3. Bye, guys.
Bye, everybody.